Hi guys, how's everyone doing? I know I haven't been on here for a minute, um, but that is for a good reason. I have had a lot of cases that I have been wanting to cover. So I have been doing a lot of research on the cases that I have seen, and I kind of narrowed it down, but I'm still going to cover the cases that I have researched, trust and believe. But I had narrowed it down to about six that I am want to cover, like in the next couple of weeks, obviously. But the first case we are going to talk on tonight is the Seth Privacky case. This case just blew my mind, guys. I mean, it literally blew my mind. I did not know nothing about this case at all. And hold on, guys. Hold on one second. Okay, like I was saying, tonight we're going to talk on Seth Privacky. I did not even know this case, guys, and this happened in 1998. In November of 1998, and I had no idea about this case, and it like surprised me. Like, how did I not know about this? Like, I usually know about a lot of, mass murders, just murders in general. Because I'm very fascinated by the concept. But I did not know about this case, and it like literally blew my mind because Seth Privacky is a mass murderer. He obliviated his whole family basically, and at the time he was infamous as one of the top family mass murderers. He was I don't know if I'm wording that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm wording that wrong, but it's all right. But anyways, let's get into the crimes and let's get talking about it. Anyways, this happened on November 29th of 1998 in Michigan. I cannot pronounce the name too good of the county or the area of Michigan it was in. So we're just gonna say Michigan, to be on the safe side. But like I was saying, this happened November 29th of 1998. The Privacky family was sitting down, getting ready to have a belated Thanksgiving dinner because that year Thanksgiving fell on the 25th, I believe. So they waited a couple of days after Thanksgiving to have a Thanksgiving dinner, probably because they wanted to get, the grandfather in with them, or, they probably had their reasons behind it. But they was getting ready to sit down for Thanksgiving dinner. The mother was upstairs. She was taking a shower. The brother, Jerediah, he was downstairs looking at television. His father had left to go pick up his grandfather and would be back very shortly. Seth Privacky, on the other hand, was upstairs in the parents' room loading a 22 caliber Ruger gun. So we obviously know where this is going at this point. But yeah, he was upstairs. He was loading this gun, getting ready to, commit his crime. And his whole family was oblivious to anything that he was planning on doing. They had no earthly clue at what this child was planning on doing to them at that very moment. And they was just thinking about having, a very caring, loving, warming Thanksgiving. They did not think that their son, the seed that they brought into this world, was going to commit the hideous crime that he was about to commit. Also, Jerediah had a girlfriend at the time named April Balls. She was coming over later to, join the Thanksgiving dinner. Unfortunately, she would walk in at the wrong time. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Hold on a minute. Let's go back. Let's go back to Seth upstairs loading the gun. Okay, and we know Jerediah is downstairs. He's looking at television. Had no clue what his brother is thinking about doing. Has his back to Seth. You know, like you're sitting on the couch, right here on this couch. You know, you're walking down this hallway and your back is towards them while you're looking at television. So he walks up to his brother and shoot him dead in the head, execution style, point blank. Kills him instantly. So what he does is he takes Jeremiah, drag him down to the basement, and places his body there so nobody will see him or nobody would, think anything. Next, he waits patiently for his father and his grandfather to arrive. According to Seth, though, he did not know that his grandfather was coming for dinner. He had no idea that his grandfather was coming. He thought it was just going to be his father. But unfortunately, his grandfather was with him when he returned to the house. What happened was Seth went out to the garage as his father was getting out of the car and his grandfather. He walked past them in the garage like he was going out, swooped around, and shot them both execution style in the back of the heads. His grandfather did not die automatically, so what he did, he went back to his grandfather and shot him again, which equals twice in the head. So far, Seth has shot 3 of his family members, his father, his grandfather, and his brother. So Seth goes upstairs to where his mother is just getting out of the shower. His mother, I guess she hadn't had her back turned to him at the time or something in that nature because she was shot in the head, execution style, like the other 3. It is just sickening that a child of the age of 18 could do such a hideous, horrendous act of mass murder in that 30-minute time frame. Like he just went through and just executed his whole family in less than an hour, and it's just pathetic that to even think that a child would do that to their parents, the ones that raised them, the ones that loved them, nurtured them, was there for them whenever they needed a shoulder to cry on, a shoulder to lean on, or anything. It's just, oh my God, guys, it's just unthinkable. It's unthinkable that I could not see my child doing that. I would hope that murder does not cross their mind in that nature. I know I do a lot of true crime talking, and they do hear it a lot of times. But I hope that's not rubbing off on them. I don't think it is. If anything, I do these videos for more educational purposes and entertainment purposes, even though there's nothing entertaining about them. We're just saying, But anyways, like I was saying, Seth just shot his mother in the back of her head. So it was a few minutes before April Ross would arrive, and Seth himself claims that he also had no idea that April, Jeremiah's girlfriend, was coming for Thanksgiving dinner. That he had no idea that she was coming either. He basically thought it was just going to be the father, brother, and mother. That's what he thought. But unfortunately, it was the grandfather and Jeremiah's girlfriend. At the time, he was actually planning on marrying April, which will make that Seth's sister-in-law. Sad. That neither one of them would get that opportunity to enjoy life with each other, to have children, to have their own family because of a selfish, pathetic loser like his brother. But karma does come back around, and we will get to that later. Let's get back to April. April arrives. Seth is upstairs. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's upstairs when April arrives. He happens to hear her come in, and she sees the body of the father and the grandfather. And more than likely, if we were to walk into a scene like that, what's our first reaction to do, guys? We're going to panic. We're going to go into a full-blown panic. We're going to think, oh my God, what's happening? We're going to go into a full-blown panic. So I can only imagine what was going through her mind at the time, what she was thinking, how afraid she was for her life. I could only imagine. Because if I was in that situation and I was to walk into a garage where I see somebody dead, I don't know what I would do. I know I'd probably panic and I would probably more likely try to run or I would, I don't know what I would do. So I can only imagine what she was thinking in this time that she's seen this. Obviously, she didn't see Seth come up behind her because Seth came up behind her, shot her in the head also, execution style, as he did his family members. So, so far, Seth has killed 5 people. He has obliterated his whole family. He took away his whole family in less than an hour. The next thing that Seth does, he calls up his friend Michael Wallace, and he tells him, quote, "It's done," referring to the fact that he had killed his father. Obviously, they had talked about it that Saturday, the day before, and I guess he called and told me it was done. I don't know, guys. I don't know what was going through this child's head. I would love to know what was going through his head at the time, but unfortunately, we're not going to get that chance because y'all find out. I'm going to leave the nut part to the end. I'm so wanting to do it, but I'm going to leave it to the end, guys. But he calls his friends up, Mr. Wallace, and he asks him to come over and assist him in helping clean up the crime scene. I guess being the good friend that he is, he went over and he helped him clean up the crime scene, helped him wrap the bodies in sheets. I don't know, guys. I don't know if my friend was to call me and be like, look, I just shot my whole family. I just shot my mom. I just shot my dad. I just shot my grandfather. I shot my brother and his girlfriend. Would you please come back? Guys, what do you think I'm going to say? I'm going to be like, no. No. I don't want no part of it. No. No. But obviously, I guess I don't know if he was afraid of Seth. Maybe I don't know. I cannot speak for Mr. Wallace. I can't do it. I don't know, but I can speak to say that he did go over and assist him in the cleaning and the trying to get rid of the bodies, and also he helped do that, and then he had to be at a church meeting or something to do with a church group. He did. He told Seth that he would be back to help him, to assist him with the rest that is left to do. So Mr. Wallace left and went to his church group. Along the way, he threw the murder weapon in the pond before he reached the church. So he assisted in cleaning up the crime scene, and he got rid of the actual murder weapon in the pond. So, Mr. Wallace, he was in it knee high at that time, and obviously, I don't know what he was thinking. I guess he thought they would never get caught. I don't know. They're 18. They're young and dumb. And, I don't know, guys. I don't know what was going through their mind. I don't know. Had no idea. But during the time that Mr. Wallace was gone to this church meeting, excuse me, guys. I got to get situated here. Like I was saying, Mr. Wallace went to his church group meeting, got rid of the murder weapon on the way. But as Mr. Wallace was gone, sorry guys, I'm trying to get the light to where it's not as bright. There we go. But on the way to his church group or his church meeting, Mr. Wallace got rid of the murder weapon along the way. During the time that he was gone, Seth continued to clean up the crime scene, to clean up the blood, to clean up what he could of that scene. Guys, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know, guys. What? What? No, I mean, that's what I'm saying right in my mind. When I read this story, that's all I could say. I was like, what? Yes, yes, guys. But according to the article that I read, obviously the tensions in the household was very high in the 6 months leading up to the diminishing of the Privacky family. Obviously, Seth was not doing well in school. He was just being a rebellion teenager. And obviously, his father, who was, they say, was a very strict father, which still, even if they are strict or whatever, it does not excuse the crime that he done. It does not. So they say that the tensions was running very high in the 6 months leading up to the murder. Seth was not, cooperating, was going against his father, and they said that him and his father literally hated each other at that point. They were literally like, I doubt his father hated him. He was just showing him that tough love. That's basically what I think the father was doing. Because I don't think no father or mother hates their seed. I honestly don't. I do believe in the tough love theory, to show them tough love, to show them, yeah, at the same time, just be nurturing, at the same time. At the same time, if they're getting out of line, you gotta toughen up the love a little bit, show them a little tough love, I had went through it with my parents. I did, because obviously I was one of them teenagers that was like, I was wild and wanted to do whatever and whenever, and yeah, and at times my parents did show me that tough love and put me out of the house and did this and that. And speaking of get put out of the house, they was going to put Seth out of the house. Because he was, not doing as they asked of him, leading up to the Privacky's murder. It's just sickening that somebody could do something like this. I mean, disgusting. It doesn't matter what your parents do, how strict your parents are. It does not excuse the crimes that you commit against them, especially murder. I mean, it does not. So, I mean, it doesn't matter how high the tensions was in this household. It does not matter about that. What matters is 5 people lost their lives at the hands of 18-year-old Seth Privacky for senseless things. Over the fact that him and his father was always arguing, or, him and his father told him to get out of the house, and obviously he didn't want to, and he thought that murdering them would be better. What? It's like, what? Anyways, guys, let's get back to this. So he was trying to clean up some more of the crime scene while Mr. Wallace was going to church. Whenever the church meeting ended, Mr. Wallace returned to Seth's house. They were planning on burying the bodies outside, but when they got to trying to pick them up and actually take them outside, they realized that they could not lift them because it was nothing but dead weight. So their next plan B, I guess, was to make it like a robbery. I might as well say a staged robbery. So what they did is they actually took the father's body out, drug him out into the driveway, and left him there. During that time that they was doing that, they just don't know that April Boss's parents has been calling her and has not been able to reach her. So what happens is they decided to pay a visit to the Privacky residence to see why their daughter was not answering their phone calls. So while Seth and Mr. Wallace is, dragging the father out to the driveway, left him there at that exact time, that exact moment, it was like divine intervention. The bosses pulls up and pulls into the driveway. Mr. Wallace takes off running and Seth takes off running also. Um, the bosses said all they seen was shadowy figures. They, was running. They got out of the car and they noticed that there was a body laying in the driveway. So obviously they ran into the house, they got a phone, and they called 911 to come. So the police arrives and they realize that this was a mass murder scene. They realize that the whole family has been obliterated, took away. And for senseless things. So they're wondering, who could done this? And obviously, I don't know why they came back to or what they came back to the crime scene for. I don't know what they was thinking, but obviously they came back. The police spotted them, and they took off running again. Mr. Wallace didn't get far because he eventually surrendered to the police. Seth, on the other hand, would not be caught for another 18 hours. Or 18 hours or something like that. 14 to 18 hours he would not be caught. Mr. Wallace surrendered to the police and told them everything. Told them everything. He literally sang like the damn canary. He told him everything. He was like, look, I'm not going down for this. I'm not doing this. Seth done this. I just assisted him on cleaning, and he just told it all. He's saying like the canary, He wouldn't go down for Seth. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't go down either. Even though it was wrong on Mr. Wallace's part to even want to even participate in the cleanup afterwards. But so began the manhunt for Seth Privacky. Seth slept in the woods overnight and eventually made his way out to the road that was it's like wooded area behind their house, and I guess like you running just straight through the woods or something, and you end up on a road. He ended up calling a friend to tell him that he needed a ride. They came, they gave him a ride, and took him to a friend's house. This friend was not home, so he took shelter in a pool shed. So that's where he was eventually apprehended. Cause the friend that gave him a ride realized that he was wanted on murder charges, and she knew this, but she still gave him a ride, even though I can only imagine the fear that she was feeling while he was sitting there beside her. I can only imagine what she was feeling. She's probably like, oh my God. She's probably, oh no, she's probably scared to damn death. Because I know I would be. Giving a killer a ride, knowing that he just killed his whole family and having to give him a ride and act like you didn't know nothing. I could not do it, guys. I couldn't. There was no way I could have done it. I mean, yeah, I would have called a law on him if I seen him on the side of the road. But yeah, look, he's like, blah, blah, blah. But he wouldn't have gotten in my car. No, I wouldn't have trusted that. But bravo to her, because she gave him a ride. And right when she dropped him off, she picked up the phone and she called the police and told them where he was at. He was apprehended and taken into custody. He was charged on 5 counts of capital murder, and a slew of other charges he was charged with. Eventually, he was took to trial, and he was convicted of all counts. He was sentenced to 5 life sentences in the Michigan correctional facility prisons. But Seth was not what we'll call your model prisoner. He wasn't. He was like he didn't care at the time, but there was a friend of the mother's that kept in contact with Seth and would go visit him regularly. Eventually, Seth said that he turned his life over and was a Christian, and all this and all that. But I had been through this experience with my child's father, And they would do this while they're in prison. They will swear they have done God. They would swear they had done this. They would swear, holy Jesus. That's how it is whenever they're in prison. But when they get out, it's a completely different story. It's like, okay, what? You know, like, you anyways, that's for another story, guys. But yeah, he could say that he was Christian and he turned his life around, that he felt remorse finally, that because whenever at his trial hearing, guys, him and Mr. Wallace showed no emotion whatsoever. It's like they was just like robots or something. Like, what? It's like, what? You know, what in the hell? I mean, these kids had not one expression on their face. I mean, it was just a blank stare. I mean, they showed no emotion. None at all. But he was a reverend. The reverend said that Seth said that he was found God. He has changed his life and da this and da that. But this is in July. I think it's July 25th of 2010. Seth and two other prisoners who was also in there for murder decided they was going to try to escape. So they took a semi-truck hostage, the driver, and eventually they ran the truck into the barbed wire fence. When they did that, they got out and they ran on foot. Well, the two that he was with basically surrendered. They knew they couldn't get far. But Seth decided he was going to keep on running. He got across the road from the prison whenever he was shot in the back of the head and was killed. Erotic, right? Like the same way that he executed his family is the same way that he was also killed. He was shot in the back of the head. Karma comes around to bite, guys. I'm telling you. Karma comes around to bite, and she bites hard as hell. She does. But, guys, anyways, I was so happy to be able to tell y'all that story. There's going to be more to come because I have got like 6 more on top of my brain already, you know, that I'm going to do more research on and going to, you know, figure out, narrow it down a little bit more to which one I want to do next. You know, I'm trying to get it like in an order. I don't know what order I'm trying to do, but it's like, what? Yeah, guys. But anyways, I was so happy to be on here with y'all tonight. Remember to always be kind, stay beautiful, and always put God first. Anyway, guys, remember to like this video, hit that thumbs up button. It's a free way to help me out, help your girl out here. And also subscribe to my channel. Makes it even better. Anyway, guys, I love y'all. I'm out. Bye.